To those who see this, I have a question. What were your impressions of the reading material offered to you in high school? I recall barely being offered anything which wasn't young adult tripe, like the overrated first Twilight book and the Hunger Games, and this was sort of something they had us reading for class science. Admittedly, we never finished some of these books we were given in class. Hell, my classes were so prone to procrastination that I would often read ahead of my covals in class. There were a few good pieces of literature, such as Of Mice and Men, but I wish there had been more emphasis on older works such as the pulps crafted by H.P. Lovecraft or Robert E. Howard. That I had been informed more and incentivized to read these kinds of stories, because in high school, I wasn't just, I was getting back into writing mostly thanks to fan fiction, and would have taken some great pointers from the writings of the previous epoch. I found this to be the case after reading a lot of some work by George R. R. Martin. Like, I found this out in college after I found a copy of Game of Thrones in the library. I think I went looking for it, or I found it by accident, but I learned a lot of lessons from reading that first book. Now, say what you will about George R. R. Martin. He's a prick, he's a cunt, he is a procrastinator, he's guilty of sloth on a writing level, but he was good for teaching me some lessons. One of these was an expansion of vocabulary. But anyway. I also learned similar lessons from, reading light novels from Japan like Goblin Slayer and Shield Hero. In fact, I believe Alan Moore even had a similar point, and you should be seeing the quote on screen. He had a similar point, and I'm paraphrasing here, and I'm also putting aside my disdain for the man for this one point, but I believe it was something to the effect of, you reading these stories can lead to you realizing, or at the very least thinking to yourself, oh, this is how it's done. If you're a creative type or aspire to be, then do this. Read older stories, both good and bad, and take some pointers. Like, if nothing else, you'll kind of come to the realization, God, I could do something fucking better than this. Like another example of this would be maybe Lovecraft no, I can't actually do better than them because, they could put me to shame in one day than I could, and with writing something in an hour than I could do in my lifetime, but anyway. In addition to this, the reading of an older material offers some exposure to some concepts and ideas for stories you would probably never get with how everything is politically correct and we're offered nothing but tripe, with everything becoming creatively bankrupt in this era of storytelling. The works of pulps and novels from the 1800s and 1900s, and even some from before these two centuries, are a good source of inspiration. Even mythology, hell, it's a good source of inspiration and more inspiring than what's being made today. Like, still read bad shit from the present, mostly to learn what not to do, I would say. Or maybe take some good ideas, because I won't deny there are some good things from the modern writers that I do like, but it doesn't compare to like the stuff from before the 2000s, for me at least. Now, there's things I'm still needing to read that I think could improve my writing. Like, read not only that for inspiration, but because you can find so many different ideas, expose yourself to new ideas and ways of thinking that could influence your story. Like, learn the structures of storytelling. If not for how to do it, then how to subvert it, which normally I'm against because I hate subverting and circumventing stuff, but who knows, maybe you'll find another method of storytelling that isn't known to us. If so, congratulations, do something with it. That's why I just think it's important to have, this is why I say broaden your horizon. Always be looking to broaden your horizon and look for new ways of thinking and looking into things that maybe wouldn't normally interest you, but you think, okay, maybe I could use this in the story. Just, you never know. And that's more or less my video, is just that. Like, if you are a creative sort and you're looking for ideas, I would say more than anything else, look back on what came before you were born. Look at the stuff of the pulps, like Solomon Kane, Conan the Barbarian, Kull, The Exile of Atlantis, The Shadow, or Elric Melniboné. Not exactly a pulp character, but he from what I hear, his stories are pulp-like, but that's not really my area of expertise. I'm not really good at saying what is thing A and what is thing B. or hell, watch movies of the past, like noir or re-noir books. Like, just expose yourself to new ideas and new concepts that might help you with, like, look for things that'll help you with your creative thinking and process. That is all I would really argue, is that there is no better outlet for that than reading what came before you. And I think that's really in the video. Have a nice day, and pray for sanity.